Raise your hand if you've ever left a coffee chat with great energy, but actually zero business growth.
You know the one, 45 minutes of cheering each other on, swapping book recs, and convincing yourselves that emotional support equals a strategy session.
You close your laptop, your coffee's gone cold, and your to-do list looks exactly the same.
We're not saying connection doesn't matter.
What we're saying is you need more than connection. You actually need structure.
Because one of those gets you progress, and the other gets you another calendar invite titled Quick Chat.
Today, we're breaking down the real difference between masterminds and networking, and why one creates results and the other just creates caffeine jitters.
Let's get started with the illusion of productivity, because networking feels like work.
You're busy, you're talking, you're connecting, your calendar's full. You've got that dopamine hit of doing something.
You even post on LinkedIn, had the most inspiring Zoom with an incredible entrepreneur today.
But when you look back, what actually moved forward?
Did you clarify your offer? Did you get feedback on a funnel? Did you set an action step with a due date?
Probably not. Because most networking is social hour with slightly more jargon.
And type A women, we love being busy. We confuse motion with progress.
However, if there's no measurable ROI, it's not business development. It's a hobby that ends up costing you $6 a cup.
Let's call out how each type A archetype shows up at the networking table.
First up, the hustler. She says yes to every event, every mixer, every DM thread labeled women supporting women.
She's collecting contacts like Pokemon cards, but none of them turn into actual collaborations or revenue.
By month 3, she's exhausted and still wondering, why am I not further ahead?
Then there's the overplanner. Oh, she's a masterpiece.
She spends more time preparing for the coffee chat than actually attending it. Rewriting her intro, Googling the other one's backstory, probably Zillowing their house, and color coding the questions.
She's got a spreadsheet of people to follow up with that she hasn't opened since Q1.
And finally, the avoider. She ghosts the invites entirely.
Networking may give her hives, so she hides until she desperately needs clients, then posts a special offer like it's a clearance sale.
We've all been one of these at some point.
And spoiler alert, none of them create traction.
Okay, time to flip the script, because a mastermind isn't just a group chat with smart people.
It's a structured container designed for growth, clear goals, consistent accountability, and a defined process.
There's a cadence, there's leadership, and most importantly, there's a framework.
You're not just swapping wins, you're troubleshooting what's not working.
You're not just clapping for progress, you're actually measuring it.
You're not showing up to chat, you're showing up to report.
And that's the key difference, accountability and visibility.
When you know people are going to ask, hey, did you do what you said you would? You actually do it.
That's neuroscience, by the way. Accountability activates the same brain centers as external rewards. We crave consistency when someone is watching.
So it's not just discipline, it's biology working in our favor.
Look, we're not anti-connection. We both love genuine relationships.
But structure turns connection into traction.
A mastermind channels your ideas into aligned action. It forces clarity.
And it's not always pretty. You won't always leave with a motivational quote or a new best friend.
Sometimes you leave with a list of uncomfortable truths and 3 tasks you'd rather avoid.
But that's where the magic happens, because someone's actually going to check back in.
You're going to leave with next steps, a measurable challenge, and accountability that keeps you from drifting back into busy work.
It's like the difference between journaling about your goals and having a trainer waiting at the gym.
Exactly. The first one feels therapeutic, but the second one actually gets you the results.
Let's be honest, half the time we say we want connection, what we really want is validation.
We want someone to tell us, You're doing great, sweetie, even if our sales dashboard says otherwise.
And look, encouragement matters, but you can't deposit validation into your bank account.
You know what actually builds confidence? Results.
Sending the scary pitch, launching the thing you've been overthinking.
Making a decision and actually following through.
You don't need more coffee dates. You need momentum.
The goal isn't to feel seen. It's to be moved forward.
Let's talk practically for a second. What does structure actually mean?
Structure means a set meeting cadence, weekly or bi-weekly, where every person reports wins, challenges, and next steps.
It means a defined leader or facilitator who keeps time and focus so it doesn't turn into therapy hour.
It means measurable goals, clear KPIs, and a shared expectation that everyone contributes.
And boundaries. No venting for 20 minutes about your contractor ghosting you. Bring a problem that leads to a decision.
Masterminds aren't support groups. They're growth systems.
And the best ones blend strategy, accountability, and empathy because growth requires both truth and safety.
Exactly. You need a place where someone can say, that's not your real goal, and you don't crumble, you get curious.
So how do you know if you need a mastermind or just a good networking event?
Ask yourself these 3 questions. Do I need ideas or accountability? Do I want community or traction? Do I want inspiration or implementation?
Networking feeds creativity. Masterminds feed results.
Neither is wrong, but only one will move your business forward this month.
Be honest with yourself, because if you're scrolling Eventbrite hoping to find clarity, what you really need is a plan.
Structure beats coffee chats every single time.
Can we talk about the excuses we tell ourselves?
My favorite, I don't have time for a mastermind.
Translation, I'm already spending that time on random calls that don't move me forward.
Exactly. A 1-hour mastermind replaces 5 hours of unstructured networking.
Then there's the I can't afford it.
However, you'll spend the same amount on 3 conferences where you take notes and never actually implement anything you've learned.
And we love events. Or the classic, I just want to connect organically.
That's great until your organic connections become an echo chamber of polite agreement.
If everyone always tells you you're crushing it, you're in a comfort zone, not a growth zone.
Here's what we've learned from running and being in masterminds for years. Results come from repetition, reflection, and accountability.
We've watched women double their revenue, not because they suddenly believed in themselves, but because they finally had structure.
They finally had people tracking their follow-through.
They had deadlines, feedback, a safe place to say, I tried this and it flopped. Now what?
Networking gives you ideas. Masterminds give you implementation.
Ideas without implementation are just dreams written in pretty notebooks and highlighted. If you're tired of leaving coffee chats with nothing but compliments and caffeine crashes,
It might be time for something a little different.
you don't need more connection. You need commitment.
You don't need more cheerleaders, you need more challengers.
And before you schedule another Zoom coffee, ask yourself, what do I actually need right now? Attention or accountability?
Because the women who scale aren't the ones with the biggest network. They're the ones with the strongest structure.
And before you go thinking this is just about masterminds,
Wait until next week because we're talking about why your to-do list isn't the problem.
your process is.